So we have the Jailer and the Arbiter. One is imprisoned within the Maw, and the other is the one that decided where all the souls would go within the Shadowlands. However, the visuals of them both provide an insanely interesting speculation. The one has a hole in his chest, while the other has a heart, and when you combine the two, it actually looks like the original Jailer concept that was leaked early on, and not a new bold version. What if the Jailer was the original Arbiter of the Shadowlands, and he was split in two with his bad side banished? Let's examine the speculation in further detail. I'd like to thank CringeVault for sponsoring this video. They've sent it to me about a month ago. I've used it. It is great. You can fit 12 cards on the side. You can fit cash here as well. And it is so much better in terms of space when compared to this old wallet that I've had. There are over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. There is a lifetime warranty and a test drive for 45 days, meaning if you don't love it, you can send it back. If you go to rich.com/Doron, you can get 10% off as well as free worldwide shipping. Check out the link in the description below. At the moment, the Jailer is completely shrouded in mystery. We call him the Jailer, but as it was obvious with the most recent cinematic, he is definitely the Jailed, as he was shown completely in chains. Also, from this current point, it seems quite obvious that the Maw is not a realm you're meant to go to. Doesn't seem like it was designed for mortals, and that the Arbiter would even send souls there in the first place. To me, it seems like the only way for souls to reach the Maw is either to smuggle them directly or, well, to break the machine of death as happened. This was also shown in the cinematic as Sire Denetrius was just chucking souls into the Maw directly, and we definitely know that he is the ally of the Jailer. Now, in terms of the Arbiter, she is an ancient being in the city of Oribos that every single soul is brought before, and she judges them and decides to which realm they should go to based on their deeds in life. That was the purpose, of course, until recently, when we realized that she had gone dormant, and instead of directing anything, now all souls go directly to the Maw, empowering the Jailer and ultimately helping him break his chains. Currently, there is an incredibly interesting theory floating about, mainly based around the visuals of the Arbiter and the Jailer. When you combine the Jailer and the Arbiter, the two seem to fit incredibly well, kind of surprisingly well together. The Jailer looks mainly naked with a hole in his chest, as if something is missing there, and the Arbiter seems like a hollow suit of armor with a heart within pretty much the same hole. The one is a male and the other female, so this could be some sort of a godly balance between the two, as the original Arbiter could be a god without a gender. Now, even more mind-blowingly, the original Jailer design seems to make a lot more sense now. A year ago, the first Jailer was leaked, an armored guy with a gigantic beard. Now, most of us thought that this was retconned and scrapped, as the new Jailer is just a half-naked, bald guy, kinda like a generic villain. However, what if that original design wasn't actually scrapped and that is the true Jailer's form, or at least some upgraded version that we're supposed to see later on? When you compare the old Jailer design to the combination of the new Jailer and the Arbiter, the two really seem to resemble each other, so maybe that is his actual true form. Now, currently there are a ton of theories just floating around trying to explain this. The most simple one is that, well, we've seen Uther have his soul split in two, one light and one dark, so we know that it is possible to have two versions of one character with sort of opposite characteristics. This doesn't really confirm much, as it seems mainly connected to the actual light as a cosmological force, and we know that Uther was a follower of the light, but it does make sense in this case, as it proves that it is possible. There is currently a crazy theory going around that actually, to me, makes a ton of sense. What if the Jailer was the original Arbiter, connected to the first ones, possibly the characters that actually shaped the universe, the true gods or creators of Warcraft as we know it? What if the Jailer isn't just a simple eternal one, but was the main controller of death? Now, as he was the main guy and he had way too much power, as the Arbiter, he could have grown too powerful, and he might have gone rogue and attempted to seize power for himself and to overthrow his creators, the first ones. For this crime, he was split into two by the same people that created him. His good side was kept as the Arbiter, and he had the same role, albeit limited, and his bad side was imprisoned within a jail, which we know today as the Maw. Sort of similar to the old gods and how they couldn't be destroyed, so they had to be imprisoned in a very tight jail. Now, as the Jailer was split, everything was thrown out of balance, and through thousands of years of progression, we got a pretty bad situation of the Shadowlands. Originally, there was Maldraxxus, the army, Bastion, the righteous messengers, Revendreth as a purgatory meant to cut evil in its roots. Now, As all the balance was split with the jailer and his soul, all of these got corrupted over time. Maldraxxus became an endless battlefield, completely chaotic. Bastion became too righteous and overzealous and fanatical, and the Revenant that was supposed to stop evil started drinking the poison and became the evil itself. Even Outerworld, which I'm not sure what the purpose would be, has become too wild. It seems like originally they had a purpose, each realm a virtue, but without that counterbalance, it went too far in one direction and just became chaotic. To me, this theory is mind-blowing and actually makes a ton of sense. This also seems like the most reasonable explanation as to why the jailer is the betrayer, and as he was split, he became the banished one. It also explains why the other Eternal Ones and everyone else rebelled and joined the jailer, and it seems like they're trying to get back to the original state of things, like the way the Shadowlands once were. Maybe the way everything was split over time, it went completely corrupt, and there is no way to revert this damage, so they want to create the original afterlife where the jailer is the Arbiter and as it used to be. This even makes more sense because if you've seen the message from Primus, the leader of Maldraxxus, he says something really interesting. Do not let Zoal reach the sepulchre. The Arbiter is the final key. Protect her or all is lost. Why do we want to protect the jailer from reaching the Arbiter? Well, because if he reached her, he would reunite with his old form and would once again become the main ruler of death and the original Arbiter, and this would bring back the old state of things. Now, whether the jailer returning or not would be a good thing for all of us, who knows? To figure that out, you'll need to learn more about the Shadowlands and what will actually happen and what the jailer actually did. Of course, all of this is just fan speculation and nothing is 100% confirmed, but you gotta admit that currently with limited information, it does make a lot of sense. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how Shadowlands progresses to get the actual lore. Thank you for watching. Check out the top 10 hunters by clicking on the screen, and also check out Doronsmovies Academy for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.